Tardes a todos, and good evening, everybody. I'd like to start out by congratulating Mr. Rader on completing his first year on the board. Can you believe it's been that long? And I'd like to tell you about the added items to the dais tonight. The Littleton bag with notebook and pen is part of Teacher Appreciation Week we celebrated last week, which was also when we recognized our Teacher of the Year who are being presented at the board this evening. Teachers, as you know, play a critical role in the academic, social, and civic development of our youth, and our exceptional teachers also play an exceptional role, not just in the development of our youth, but in support and modeling for colleagues. I want to thank you to all of our fine teaching staff. The district's annual art show, Mrs. Nielsen referenced, reception, was at the library last night. Student artwork from all 6 schools was on display, and it's grown bigger and better than any prior year. The event was attended by parents, students, board members. Thank you, board members, for coming, as well as community members, and the art displayed was outstanding. The judges made several selections for pieces to be purchased by the district, and those will be displayed at the district office. So we'll see how many families take us up on our offer. We're not big spenders, but we think it's a nice offer for the district to buy those so we can keep them on display. And we want to thank all of the art teachers for all their hard work and preparation, especially Ms. Bender from Estrella Vista for helping coordinate the event. Now, tomorrow night is the district's annual Performing Arts concert. That'll be held at Palm Valley Church. We're looking forward to showcasing the talents of our students and staff and hope to see all of you there as well. I want to remind everybody our school wraps up with 8th grade promotion celebrations on Wednesday, the 25th of May at each school. And our annual staff recognition is on Thursday, the 26th. That'll be at Tres Rios starting at 8 a.m. At the end of each year, we have an opportunity to recognize special achievements, milestones, and new beginnings. New beginnings is for staff is code for retirees. So we're looking forward to that once again. Most everyone's heard by now our state lawmakers gave final approval last week to a $9.6 billion spending plan once again. They had enough money to continue corporate tax cuts, but not enough money for bigger boosts to K-12 education. Don't want to sound ungrateful, but they're so stingy. The base level, inflation level, that's without the passage of Prop 123, is less than 1% by 1/100%. That's right, they made sure the formula is adjusted by only 0.99. No room for budget rounding all the way up to 1% there. The state-based support level will be $3,635.64 next year if Prop 123 passes, but if not enacted for any reason, it'll stay at $3,460.66, or at about $175 less per pupil. The package that came together in the legislature after leaders agreed to rescind the proposal to actually cut public education. The budget as proposed would have cut funding to schools. And that's been postponed for at least a year. The final deal, demanded by moderate Republicans and supported by Democrats in both chambers, ensures that there'll be no loss of funding for schools, even those that are losing enrollment. School districts will still be required to figure out how to levy local assessments with fluctuating budget levels. No one's really sure how that'll work out with property owners just yet. This will still be a problem in fiscal year 2018 when the hold harmless provision in next year's budget expires. But we think our enrollment will be growing, so the provision probably will not help Littleton financially next year. It's the future years we need to be worried about right now. We only have 3 years left of funding for the classroom site fund for teacher compensation, so there's much work to be done in our state's education finance system. The proposed provision that was going to reduce the percentage of locally owned space was finally deleted from the budget, which is good for Littleton. Currently, the process for calculating the need for facilities leaves schools fairly overcrowded before new space can be obtained. And ironically, new charter construction doesn't need to go through that process at all, and that's why you see charter schools popping up all over, but not district schools. Unless, of course, they're locally funded, like Littleton's Fine Arts Academy. The Fine Arts Academy is excited to announce that they'll be partnering with the Musical Instrument Museum next year. MIM, as it's called, has offered free admission for the entire school into the museum for the 2016-17 school year. They're also offering free professional development opportunities for teachers to help support arts integration, and we look forward to working with them to develop long-standing partnership in the upcoming school years. Miss Garrison and Mrs. Gibson attended the Sounds Kitchen, a charity event, music education. 3 school principals were able to talk about, speak to donors about their programs, and Miss Gibson spoke about her desire to create a partnership that would bring strings music lessons to the Fine Arts Academy. The Sounds Academy is a nonprofit music education group whose mission is to teach, mentor, and provide musical experience and opportunities to underserved youth, and they work with individual students in schools to provide access to quality music education on strings instruments and strings lessons for students, either during the day or after school. So our Fine Arts Academy was represented at their fundraiser, and we're able to promote our school, and so whatever money donated towards the school program was matched by their organization, and we were able to raise several $100s already for that program. We're very grateful for that opportunity and continue to cultivate that partnership. Ms. Gibson was also honored with the Cherish the Children Award from West Valley Child Abuse Prevention Council last week. That's probably the old role merging into the new role, yes. So going out strong because she works with community partners to help shape safe and healthy, successful learners. Her team provides various classes for students and parents through the Family Resource Center and volunteers with the community theater. We're currently about a dozen teacher vacancies within our district. A recruitment team is just traveling to back from Texas, to do some last-minute out-of-state recruiting, hopefully find some more candidates, and the principals are still hard at work screening other candidates that have applied. Baseball and softball season is about at the halfway mark, and there's been plenty of exciting action. Natural talent's been on display in our games, and we've seen some stellar pitchers, strong hitters, instinctive basemen. Coaches have promoted good sportsmanship, and their student athletes have demonstrated on the field. We're pretty confident that it'll continue as we approach the playoffs. So in closing, I'd like to express our appreciation to Pauline Hendricks for tennis shoes donated to Trace Rio students, to Margaret Schulke for funds donated to Thayer Scholarship for Collier students, to the Quinton PTA for funds donated to student field trips, to Destiny Ramos from Target and Evelyn Diaz from Sam's for donation to Quinton's Field Day, to Carlos Lopez for funds donated to Country Place, and finally to David and Linda Stollard, Rytan LLC, and Verco for donations to the Employee Recognition Program. And that's all I have.